So the question is Suicide Squad as bad as everyone says it is, Jerry?
No, but that doesn't mean it's great. It's just not. It's how shall we say it? It's mediocre. There's an interesting idea there for a really good movie. I think that something happened after Batman versus Superman came out, and that Warner Brothers tampered with it, and it really something got lost there in the last couple of months with the reshoots and everything. And I think the film has some bright spots, but it also has a lot of glaring negatives, if you will. That being
what's the bright spot?
Plot. Well, the bright spot is Margot Robbie. That is the bright spot. And then second to that would be Will Smith. I do have a question for you guys, and maybe you can answer this for me. Is Jared Leto an afterthought in the movie? I don't see a lot of him in the movie.
From what I understand, Jared Leto wanted to inject more of a R-rated flavor into his Joker.
Right.
They wanted to hit a PG-13, so therefore a lot of his stuff has been cut out and will probably be reinstated in the DVD release.
Okay, so it's not that I missed something. He's just not in a good chunk of the movie. It's a glorified cameo at this point. Okay. No, because I was watching it, and I'm just like, wow, where the hell is he? He's in parts of it, and it's really, if I was an actor, I wouldn't touch the Joker with a 10-foot pole. I don't see how you top Heath Ledger. I really don't know how you do that. And I just out of respect for Heath Ledger and the character, I would have, stayed away from him for decades.
Well, how do you think that Leto does? I mean, with what little is in the movie, I mean, does it feel like it's a new take on the character,
no.
or?
Oh God, no! It's like a really weird, fusion of Heath Ledger, a really bad Jimmy Cagney impersonation, and a really just he doesn't know what to do with the character. But the problem is he's not there enough to really get the gist of the character.
He's not really part of the story, is he?
I mean, I feel like he's almost an afterthought. Really. Oh, let's throw in the Joker. I think the problem with this movie is that there are good ideas in the movie. It's the actual plot of the movie. Do you remember? Did any of you guys ever watch the original Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
One. Okay, remember they did a Dirty Dozen style episode. They took villains and they put them on a mission. Kind of thing. They took all the bad guys and they put them on a kind of Dirty Dozen mission. It has that feel to it, in the sense that the villain that they're trying to get isn't really that memorable. Like the story of the movie is pretty bland. There's not really much there. I guess the Enchantress is the villain amongst the villains. So it doesn't really feel. There's not much there. I mean, there's just not much of a story there, if that makes sense. It just doesn't feel like, you have the baddest of the bad, who really, by the way, aren't that bad. They're actually really, it's timed.
Well, I mean, they make Will Smith's character into somebody who's just really soft and gushy over his daughter.
Yeah,
so they have to have that kind of thing in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. You're doing this these are not. It is a very PG-13 movie. I don't know what they're trying to go for, and I don't. As someone pointed, a couple of reviews pointed out, you were really in the span of what DC's trying to do. They haven't built up these characters to make this kind of film yet, and what they're trying to do in their world building, or whatever the appropriate term is. This is a movie that you would have been better off years from now, instead of trying to do it right out of the gate.
You know what? I mean, it's so odd too, because maybe not. Maybe it speaks to the deception of advertising. But that's my favorite trailer of the year. That trailer set to the Queen song that came out with Suicide Squad. I mean, that makes Suicide Squad look like the coolest, kind of most provocatively fun movie of the year.
And it does have a great marketing campaign otherwise too, the posters and so forth. It's a terrific marketing campaign.
Oh, it is.
I've never
So
been
let
a
me
real
ask you
huge...
this. Is it possible, and maybe that's not one of the problems with this movie, but I find it's the problem with a lot of movies, particularly superheroes movies that tend to be overpacked. Is it just impossible to make a film about 8 lead characters?
I think it's something but then again, then we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which did a terrific job of
and that's the model. That's the model for this film. There's no doubt about that. With the music and everything, that's certainly the model, and it falls so short. If you compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie just can never get to that. I also think in that sense, James Gunn, in that regard, understands pop culture a lot better than David Ayer. I do like David Ayer. I think Harsh Times and End of Watch are really good movies. He might not have been the director for this. I don't know. But we don't know. I think there's a great documentary waiting to be made about this movie, because obviously something happened after Batman versus Superman. They took this movie away from him.
So you blame Warner Brothers before David Ayer.
Yeah. Because Warner Brothers doesn't know what they want. Warner Brothers, remember, a couple of years ago issued that thing, we're not going to have any humor in our films like Marvel. They wanted to be so anti-Marvel that I think it really hurt them. I mean, I don't think they know what they're doing, quite honestly.
You know why they gave it to David Ayer? Probably, I mean, he just got off of Sabotage. What was the other movie that he did that was similar to that, like a group of people doing dirty work?
Fury would be the tank movie.
Yeah.
I mean, which is a good movie in its own right, but I just don't. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a tremendous fan of his in general. So, but I would blame the Warner Brothers people who are probably frame fucking the thing. I mean, like they're going line by line, and a lot of some of these people don't even have. I mean, some of these people don't even have.
That's pretty good. That's an interesting phrase.
Well, and it's not mine. It's an old phrase from years ago. But they're probably going line by line, and some of these people also. Am I not right? Am I right in saying that the guy who's heading Warner Brothers now is the first executive, one of the first executives to never have had any kind of experience in making movies? He's mainly like a brand consultant.
I think you're right.
He's never before he got put into the top tier, he had never had any contact with the movie industry whatsoever. So he was just a brand consultant. So that's what you have going through every single line and every single frame of the movie is some guy who says, that doesn't fit our brand. They're more concerned about brands than they are about movies. They don't know anything about movies.
No.
So,
if I may interject, though, the problem with these movies started with the lukewarm reception of Man of Steel. Remember, there was supposed to be a Man of Steel 2, which I don't think we're ever going to see, but that was supposed to be Batman versus Superman. Originally, it was going to be Man of Steel 2, but because Superman did not get the reaction, let's be honest, these guys just don't know what to do with Superman anymore. They have no idea. I mean, it's really lost on them. So they decided, okay, we'll bring Batman into it, and then later on, we'll make it like Dawn of the Justice League or whatever. So we'd have 2 movies in a row where Warner Brothers has really just, for lack of a better phrase, really just they don't know what they're doing.
Now, I got a question for you, Jerry. Have you watched the 3-hour version of Batman versus Superman that's now been released?
No, I really don't want to. It's not something I want to revisit. I mean, it's just not. I mean, what could I possibly hope to gain? I mean,
I'm just my curiosity.
Films I want to watch.
I'm curious. Here's why I asked the question. I'm just curious to know if the movie that movie is better than the one that was in the theaters, because maybe their modus operandi is to create. Maybe they're trying to use these movies as sort of previews for the bigger movie that's coming out on disc. You know what I'm saying?
That's an awful thought. That's just,
like the bigger, better movie that's coming out on disc. So this is like it's like a 2-hour preview.
But physical media isn't selling either.
Yeah,
even though Batman vs Superman is number one for like 3 weeks in Blu-ray sales, but Blu-ray sales are anemic as far as I have heard.
Yeah.
Well, they're anemic just in general, but aren't genre movie fans still buying them? I mean, they're still buying them.
I don't know what they're buying anymore. But let me go. But let's backtrack thing. You've just in that statement that you've just made, you have really crystallized what William Goldman said, that no one knows anything in Hollywood. So you're going to say you're going to put all your ducks or all your chickens in this one eggs in this one basket that is dying, the physical media, the DVD, the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's frightening. That's absolutely frightening. So you're saying that the movie experience should, as far as I'm concerned, be the main thing you're going for. When you're already saying no, we'll save it for the DVD, that's frightening. That's absolutely. I mean, if I was, my mom and dad were at a party many decades ago with the heirs to the Warner Brothers fortune. They could not get into the studio, the front door of Warner Brothers. They were not allowed. So that says anything about Warner Brothers. They couldn't get it. They couldn't even get a job there. So, but if you're saying to me that these guys are saving it all for the physical media, which is dying, that's frightening.